Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? And happy April Fool's Day, I guess. I thought I'd do something different because you're probably going to see some channels saying I'm leaving YouTube and April Fool's or April Fool's Day prank, but I think that's been done to death. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review the movie April Fool's Day on April Fool's Day. The movie made back in 1986. And I know Burger King is doing showing commercials for a Whopper toothpaste that they were doing. I think that's April Fool's too, but weird. That was a weird one. The movie April Fool's Day came out in 1986, and it was, because they were associating different holidays with different slash films. There's like Mother's Day and Halloween. Silent Night's Christmas or Black Christmas, I should say. Stuff like that. Graduation day, prom night. Well, that's not a holiday. Valentine's Day, they did some Valentine's Day ones. And they decided to do one with April Fool's Day, and it's kind of like a wink and a nod to the slasher genre. When I first saw it, I believe I saw it in Fort Bragg when I was at the reception station. And they had cable playing, and I remember watching some movies. I think we watched that one. We watched Little Monsters. I think we started watching Grease, and we watched a couple other things like Tales from the Crypt and stuff like that on HBO. And I remember the movie, but I remember it not being very memorable. Now, I know my friend way back in '94 gave me a tape that had some movies on it, and it had April Fool's Day on it too. I remember seeing it again. And then it's not a very memorable movie. It doesn't stick out in my head. It's like, I kept thinking, my brain was telling me that maybe I missed something. Maybe I should go back, and after all these years, this was back in '94, I saw it like twice. I barely remember except for the opening sequence at all. And I thought maybe I should see if I can find it on YouTube. And they had it on YouTube. I think it was like, it's one of the ones. Some of the channels on YouTube, they don't do it as much as they used to, but they might have like a movie and it's split in like 10 different parts or something like that. I know they had Walking Tall TV, which had like the old TV episodes of Walking Tall with Bo Swenson. It was really good. Those were like split in like 4 parts. I remember my dad and I enjoyed those. And, I started watching that on the Roku. And basically it's about, the opening scene is like these guys were filming this girl home movie, and she said she puts out on the first day, or something. She said something similar to that. That's the only part I remember of the movie. It does not stick in your mind. And after seeing it again, it's still, I know the gist of it, but it still doesn't really, it's not a memorable film. There's a lot of 80s actors in there that, you might know, you might not know. I know Deborah Foreman was in there, and she was in movies like My Chauffeur and some of them like Valley Girl and stuff like that, like 80s classic films like that. Well, not classic, but 80s movies. And there was 2 other people from the 80s I looked really familiar. I couldn't remember who they were because I haven't seen them in a long time. They had the one kid that played that was made famous that played Biff the bully in Back to the Future movies. He was in this. And also the kid with the video camera was a smart alecky kid from summer school, and also he was in the Airwolf and some other things. I know my dad hated him. He's really annoying on those shows. And then you don't see these people anymore. I really had to look up to see who that guy was. As far as the movie goes, it's all right. I can't really give away any spoilers. It's basically like this one girl invites her friends to this island, and they have to go on this little ferry that takes them to this secluded island. And it's a slasher film, so one by one they get picked off, and they're trying to figure out who the heck did it and what the heck's going on. I don't want to give away any more. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. The movie's still not very memorable to me, but it moves along at a brisk pace, and it doesn't seem like it's super long. It's a traditional hour and a half, and it's okay. It's an okay film. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't know if they still hate it now. I know they hated it when it came out. And another thing that really interested me in checking it out again, because when I was doing my thing of the House movie franchise, like I said, that one movie review really, the title really sticks to my head. You know, the guy said House and April Fool's Day. And he gave them both 2.5 stars. And he said they're junk but spirited junk. So that got me interested in checking April Fool's Day. I was like, well, why not do a video reviewing April Fool's Day and April Fool's Day? You know, why not? And it's an okay movie. I give it probably a 5.5 out of 10. I don't know if people still hate it like they did back when it came out. You know, I don't know. And it was directed by, produced by, and it's distributed by Paramount. And Paramount, back in the 80s, as far as slash films, they were most known for Friday the 13th movies. And I remember seeing in a documentary called His Name is Jason, or His Name was Jason, a great documentary, by the way, that Anchor Bay did, I'm pretty sure. He said that Paramount Pictures, the Paramount Studios, was ashamed of the Friday the 13th movies. They were embarrassed by him. And, well, the studio execs are all probably cinema snobs and stuff, you know. And I remember the director, Joseph Zito, was saying that when he went to direct, he was really excited to direct Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. And he went to direct, well, he had a meeting with the executives, and they just didn't even want to talk about it. So he figured that something weird was going on. And Joseph Zito was a popular film director in the 80s. He directed some really good movies. He directed a cult classic, The Prowler, which was considered a lost slasher film. That's the only other slasher film he did, to my knowledge. And what happened with that one, I know I got the DVD from Blue Underground. Tom Savini said I was the only one that had opened with newsreel footage. And what happened with that, why that became lost, was because Avco Embassy, well, the budget for the movie was $1 million, which isn't too bad for a movie back then. And Avco Embassy, who was popular at the time, wanted to distribute the film, and they were going to pay them $750,000 for distribution. And then the producer, said that he probably could make better money if he distributed it himself. And then then it really hurt the box office. The movie tanked real bad, and it was, I don't remember it ever playing to theater, but it must have somewhere. But I mean, he's a good. And then Joseph Zito went on to direct a couple great Chuck Norris movies. He did Missing in Action and Invasion USA. I love Invasion USA. I don't care what anyone says. The Missing in Action is really good too. That's perfect. And he did the cool Dolph Lundgren movie, Red Scorpion. Well, anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent. Like I said, April Fool's Day was a perfect one for Paramount, because that's like, April Fool's Day is a movie that kind of gives the finger to the slasher genre. And I think Paramount wanted to do that because they were so embarrassed by the Friday the 13th movies. And like I said, a 5.5 out of 10. It's alright. But, you know, I know that I didn't find out till after I watched it that there's actually a remake that they did back in 2008. Another company, I can't remember, Stage 6 or something like that. I'm really not, it didn't look interesting to me at all. I have no desire to see it, at least not at the time anyways. So, there you have it, 5.5 out of 10 from the 1986. I don't know, some people will call it classic, some people want it April Fool's Day. And I'm reviewing on April Fool's Day, which I thought is different. So until next time, bye please. Take care, my legion.